Hi everybody and welcome to episode 1 of Diaries of a Teenage Fangirl. This is crazy. I've been teasing this podcast forever on my TikTok. Also, preface, this is only my second time filming an episode, even though it's the first. I shot episode 2 first. It'll make sense when the episode comes out, but we ran into some technical difficulties. If I run into difficulties with this one, just know, I'm still learning. And if you hear screaming in the back, my little brother is in fact playing on his VR headset and will not get off of it, so ignore that. But hi, if you don't know me from TikTok or my Instagram or anything, my name is Maddie. I am a self-proclaimed professional fangirl. I have been into been in the fan culture space probably since I was literally 5. And I've now amassed this following of 18,000 people on TikTok, which is crazy. And right now as I'm filming this, I don't know what the situation is going to be when this episode is going up, because when this episode goes up, it will be past the date of this potential TikTok ban. But I've amassed this community with just posting about concerts and fangirl related things, and it's turned into almost a job for me, because I now have this fangirl small business, and I have been able to turn something I love so dearly into something that could end up being a career, as silly as that sounds. And I used to do YouTube more a while ago, and I've missed it, and I love going live on TikTok. It's one of my favorite things, and I love just talking to you guys like we're on FaceTime, and I wanted this podcast to resemble one of those, we're on FaceTime and we just get to chit chat and talk all the time. And I thought it'd be really fun to create a podcast like that. Some episodes I'll have friends on, some will be solo. I want to talk about all things fangirl, all things music, all things pop culture. I'd also love to dive into some of my personal stuff. I'd love to use this to talk about my chronic illnesses and raise more awareness for that, because that's something that I love being able to do with my TikTok platform, and I'd love to bring that over to here. And yeah, this is episode 1 of Diaries of a Teenage Fangirl. This is so freaking crazy. I thought we could start episode 1 with just talking about how I kind of got into fan culture and the fan space and all of my fangirl experiences. So back when I was 5, my mom took me to my first concert. I went to go see Justin Bieber, and before that, I grew up listening to so much music. I have been a Swiftie since the womb. Debut came out in 2006. My mom discovered Taylor in 2006 during debut. I was born 2007. So I grew up listening to Taylor my whole life. I was a huge believer. I genuinely got into a fight with a girl on the playground when I was younger, because she said she was a bigger Justin Bieber fan than me, and I hit her. Don't try to come for me like that. And a Directioner, I was such a big Directioner. I had this pillow from Justice, and it had all the boys on it. And I'd kiss each of them before going to bed each night. And my 2 boys were Harry and Niall, and I took this black Sharpie and I drew hearts around their faces. And then when 10 minutes. So why did my Alexa just have to alert me that an alarm is going off in my parents' room? Okay, so that interrupted me. But like I was saying, then when Zayn left the band, I took a big red Sharpie and I drew an X over his face, because I felt really betrayed by that, and not funny, but grew up listening to a ton of music, whatever. When I was 5, my mom woke me up this morning. I vividly remember it at 4 a.m. And I was like, why are we getting up? She was like, we're getting in the car, we're going to the airport. I'm like, when the fuck are we going to the airport? It's 4 a.m. and I'm 5 years old. What? And she was like, we're going to Arizona to see Justin Bieber with your cousins. And that was my first concert. Insane experience. Justin Bieber threw up all over the stage at my show during Beauty and a Beat. because he got too drunk before the show and then he like threw up everywhere. Like, core memory. And that was like, I don't know, probably like, let me check concert archives. Wait, will it stop my voice recording? I don't know. I can't pull up concert archives. It was probably in like September or like maybe even in the summer or like the beginning of the year 2012. And then at the end of the year 2012, I vividly remember this. My mom doesn't, but I do. She had like put a note in my lunchbox. She was like, don't read this note. This is in like December 2012. She's like, don't read this note, but when you go into school, give it to your teacher today. And I gave my teacher this note. I didn't read it, whatever. The next morning, my mom once again wakes me up at 4 a.m. and she's like, get up, we're going to the airport. I'm like, oh my God, why are we going to the airport again at 4 a.m.? She's like, we're going to Jingle Ball in New York with my then like nanny, who was like a really close family friend, and then like my pseudo cousin. So we went to New York. We went to Madison Square Garden. We went to Jingle Jam. That year, the lineup was fucking insane. It was Taylor Swift, One Direction, Justin Bieber, Ed Sheeran, like B.O.B., Fun. It was lit. Some of my favorite memories. We were like tippy top nosebleeds at Madison Square Garden. I had my iPad. I filmed the whole entire thing on like my first generation iPad. Like, so good. And I remember feeling like the coolest kid in the world because I'd gone to these concerts and like my classmates had it. And like I remember like coming back from winter break and everybody being like, my teacher being like, what did everybody do on break? And I was like, I went to New York and saw all these people. And that was like the first time I saw Taylor. It was during the Red era. I remember she had these like big like block letters on the stage that spelled Red, and there was like a stage on top of them, and she was like standing on top of them singing. Like, ingrained in my brain, guys. Like, so fucking insane. Like, life-changing for me. Then in 2015, I saw Taylor Swift at the 1989 tour in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium. I'm from California. We were so freaking excited. We went. Coolest concert ever. We were like in the lower bowl. I remember so much of it. Our special guest was Fifth Harmony, which was like crazy, guys. So crazy. I loved Fifth Harmony. Like, I was a harmonizer. And like, Shawn Mendes opened. Bruh. Shawn Mendes opened. I got to hear Stitches. I got to hear Mercy. Please have mercy on me. So good. Oh my God. It was just like so insane. And like, I was up. I was screaming. And those concerts just kind of like started this like obsession for me. And I like just became so obsessed with music, and that turned into like a concert addiction, where then my mom just started taking me to so many concerts. Like, I saw Justin Bieber in like 2015. No, it might have been like 2017. I saw Justin Bieber again. I met him. We did like the meet and greet. I have a photo with Justin Bieber. I'll put it up on the screen. Like, crazy, guys. Literally crazy. Like, so freaking exciting. Like, I wish my brother like knew how to be quiet. I really hope the audio on my phone isn't picking him up. But like, so crazy, and it just created this obsession where like I just became so obsessed with music and everything about it. But I would say like the main fangirling like outward expression, like not outward expression, but I guess like on social media started in like 2019, because 2019, that's like Lover era. That is like we're just getting the announcements that re-recordings are going to be a thing. There's like all of these new exciting things happening in the fan space. Like, Harry is coming like back. He's doing so much like solo stuff. It was just like such like, literally thinking about it right now, I have full body chills. I'm not even kidding. Like, I just got full body chills. Like, 2019 was just like peak, and that's when TikTok blew up. So like, I get on TikTok, whatever, and like Swift talk becomes a thing. And I just started seeing all these people like posting about their fangirl stuff, concerts, and I become obsessed with that. So I fall in deep to that. Then COVID hits. COVID really fucking dark time for everybody. And during COVID is actually when I developed my chronic illnesses. And that then spiraled into like 3 years of living in hospitals and having like literally hashtag no will to live, like genuinely like trigger warning, like trigger warning, like suicidal talk. My chronic illness, like my main one, complex regional pain syndrome, is often nicknamed the suicide disease because of how horrible it is on people. And I genuinely had never been worse. Quite literally never been worse. And so I'm in this treatment facility in like 2022, early 2022, and I am like, music had become this like coping mechanism for me. It was like literally the only thing that kept me going was like album releases. And like the one that really like, the album that truly saved my life was Super Ache by Conan Gray, because I saw Conan right before I went to treatment, and he just like gave me this like hope for my life that it could get better. And like Super Ache was coming out in June and it hadn't been announced. Like he announced Super Ache so long before it came out, but literally like the thought that like Conan new music coming soon, it kept me going. And I'll never forget like being in Arkansas at my treatment facility and like staying up the night of Super Ache to listen to it and just like sobbing in my room because it was just so like personal. And Conan has such a way with words, and he is just such an amazing human, and like I fucking love him. Like he truly saved my life, and like I don't mean that in any dramatic way. Like genuinely I owe it to Conan for getting me through that year of my life. And music just became this outlet for me. And this is like 2022 was fucking huge. Like this is when Taylor announced Midnights, and I feel like people don't really understand how Midnights like threw Taylor into this like spotlight so much more than she already was. Like it was a crazy time to be a Swiftie. And so I'm in Arkansas and I start using TikTok as this creative outlet for me. I get super into Swift talk, super into like fangirl space, and I start posting these fangirl videos. And I started building like a small following, whatever. I had like 2,000, 3,000 followers at this point, like nothing huge. But I just started posting about like Conan and Taylor and Gracie and Harry and all these artists that helped me. Cause like I went to go see Love on Tour in New York while I was in treatment. Like me and my mom flew from Arkansas one weekend to New York to go see Harry, and like music kept me so grounded during that time. And it truly, like, I don't think people understand how, like, people think people are being dramatic when they're like, oh, this artist saved my life, oh, this music saved my life. Like, genuinely, the mental state I was in, the only thing that kept me going was music and these artists. And the one thing that kept me motivated in treatment was, like, so, like, I couldn't walk. I was in a wheelchair, and the one thing that kept me going is, like, I need to get better so that I can go to concerts again. Because when I was diagnosed, my first thought was, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to go to a concert again. And that was like the scariest moment of my life, was thinking that something that I loved so dearly and brought me so much joy was something that was like pulled from me and like I would never get to have again. And it was so horrifying to me. But so like I start posting whatever. Taylor announces Midnights, craziest night of my life, like freaking the fuck out. New Taylor music, this is crazy, nobody fucking expected it. Like, we were all clowning that I was gonna, like, she wasn't gonna do shit. All of a sudden she announces Midnights. This is insane. This just skyrockets her fame to something it had never seen before. Then she announces the Eras tour on Good Morning America. Oh my God. I remember I woke up that morning and my dad had texted me the post, and he was like, he literally, I'll put the text up on the screen. He texted me, he goes, oh my God, like, something to live for. Literally, those were his words, is like, something to live for, when Taylor announced tour. And I was so excited because, like, the Eras tour, like, this was, like, before, like, Taylor was, like, the OG of this, like, Eras tour thing that has now, like, almost, like, become a trend with artists. Like, the Jonas Brothers did it. Like, so many people have now been doing these, like, Eras tours. But, like, this was something that was, like, unseen. This was, like, a brand new concept. And, like, obviously, like, she put out all of this music during COVID. Like, the re-records and Folklore and Evermore. Like, this is all during COVID. Lover never got to have its moment because, like, obviously, like, Love for Fest was, like, postponed because of COVID. Like, all of these albums that never got to have their moment. How were these gonna happen? She announces Eras tour. What the fuck? What the fuck? So, I tell my parents, we need to go to multiple shows. And my parents were like, okay, bet. I sign up, genuinely, like, 30 emails for pre-sale. Like, not even being dramatic, guys. I got a pre-sale code to opening night and to Arlington Night 1. I was literally in treatment while I was in the queue for Arlington Night 1, not even kidding. It had become this thing at my clinic where I had told everybody, I'm trying to get tickets to Taylor Swift. Like, and everybody at the clinic knew I was a Swiftie. Like, it was a thing. Whenever I'd walk into a room, like, the physical therapist would start playing Taylor Swift. So when tour was announced, everybody was like, oh my God, Maddie, are you going? And I was like, yes, guys, obviously I'm fucking going. I'm literally in treatment as I'm in the queue. For Arlington Night 1. We got floor tickets. Crazy as fuck. Crazy as fuck. Six row floor tickets. Right, like, on the diamond. Craziest moment of my life. Opening night was another story. My dad kept selecting tickets. It kept booting him out. We don't need to talk about that, but it was crazy, and it really did give me something to live for and push for, because I was like, I need to get better so that I can go to this concert and make it happen. I ended up leaving the pain treatment facility in Arkansas because they were very gaslighty. I've made TikToks about it, and I'll honestly probably do a whole podcast episode about them, but they were horrible. I came here to the Sioux doctor. He saved my life. And genuinely, like, one of the first things when I met him, he was like, do you have a goal that you're working towards to get better for? I'm like, I'm working to see Taylor Swift. And he was like, okay, we'll get you there. Like, we're going to get you to Taylor Swift. And also, during this time I'm working with him, Gracie announces Good Riddance. Holy shit. Gracie announces Good Riddance. She announces Good Riddance tour. I get Good Riddance tour tickets. So that also gave me something to live for, because Good Riddance was March 25th and Eras tour was March 31st. So I had to work for these things. Guys, my nail just popped off. I was going too hard. It's fine. But it, like, gave me these things that I needed to work for, and it was so motivating. I got better to the point I was able to go to these, and it just started this addiction, because genuinely, for the past 3 years of my life, I had believed I would never be able to do these things ever again. And it really showed me that, like, you only live once, you only get one chance, and you never know when the things you love so dearly are going to be, like, stripped from you, and, like, you'll never have access to them again. So, obviously, like, I go crazy. I go to those shows, and I go to Lizzie McAlpine, I go to Boy Genius, I go to, like, a lot of other shows that year. I go to Faye Webster. I obviously saw Gracie. Oh, I went to Eras again. I went to Eras in Santa Clara night 2. Crazy. Like, I got Stay, Stay, Stay as my surprise song, and that was me and my mom's song. We listened to it on the way to kindergarten every single day, and it was in my top 5 songs I wanted as surprise songs, and, like, we got it, and I just started immediately sobbing. Like, it was so special. Like, it was just a really special year. Like, 2023 was a really special... Like, I saw Noah Kahan. I saw him 3 times. It was crazy. And also, this is when my TikTok growth really starts picking up. This is when I'm, like, posting really consistently about fangirl stuff. I have a few videos go viral, and I start gaining a really good amount of followers from it. I want to say I ended last year with, like, 8K. Because I hit 10K this year. but I ended last year, like, in the late whatever. And my stuff starts doing really good, and this is when I start really getting into the fangirl space. I start meeting so many of my best friends through TikTok, and one of, like, my main moments as a fangirl that I feel like really just, like, pivoted everything was I posted this video of me at a NoahCon concert. It was me and my best friend and my cousin screaming the lyrics to All My Love. I post it, it gets, like, 700,050 views. Like, insane. Okay, and, like, overnight. Whatever. This is, like, in October. December, I want to say it was December 3rd. All of a sudden, I'm getting tagged in, like, this TikTok over and over again. I'm like, what is that? I click on it. It's a video of NoahCon on BBC Radio watching and reacting to fan TikToks. And the second fan TikTok he watched was my video of me and my friends screaming All My Love. He's, like, laughing. He's like, oh, my God, I heard you guys. And then he defended me from all my fucking haters because people were saying, like, if I was sitting next to you at a concert, I would KMS. I'm like, whoa. People are like, you're annoying as fuck. I'm like, oh, y'all are so sweet. He was like, all of you guys saying not to scream at shows. This is the energy me and the band love. Like, please scream at shows. Like, it was just so insane. And, like, Noah means so much to me. And I had already seen him 3 times before that in, like, literally the span of, like, 2 months. I saw him literally in the span of 1 month, I saw him 3 times. Like, he is, like, my favorite person on planet Earth. And, like, I love him so much. And, like, it just meant so much to me. And then we get into this last year, and this is when shit starts getting crazy. I go to 23 concerts this year alone. And it was wild. Like, seriously, best year of my life. I saw so many people, and I got to go on all these, like, concert benders, which were, like, I go to multiple concerts in the span of, like, 5 days, and it was, like, this whole thing. Like, I'm gonna have Alani on an episode. I did this, like, 5-day concert bender with her, and we just have, like, the craziest stories that we'll tell together, because I don't feel right telling them without her, but, like, some of my crazy stories, like, I ended up on a guest list for a Gracie Abrams show. Zach Bryan's dad gave me tickets to his show. Noah gave me his set list at the concert. He wore the cowboy hat that me and Stella brought him. He sang my favorite fucking song on my birthday. Like, I, like, snuck into a NoahCon pit with my best friends. Like, me and one of my best friends, like, me and my best friend, we got barricade for Sabrina. Like, this last year was so insane to me and, like, really showed me that, like, you know that lyric from Call Your Mom that's like, if you could see yourself now, you would have never tried it. Like, this year really showed me that, like, thank fucking God I stayed alive. Genuinely. Like, it was just so special. This was the best year of my life. I hit 10,000 followers. My stuff started growing. I hit 18,000. Almost every single show I went to this year, like, you guys came up to me. You guys would give me bracelets. You guys asked for photos. It was fucking insane. Like, I've never felt so, like, on top of the world. And, like, genuinely, I don't think you guys understand, like, how much doing this stuff, like, saved my life. Truly, it gave me a reason to live, which sounds so dramatic, I know, but when we're talking about, like, the chronic illness stuff and everything, it was such a horrendous time that it's just, like, being involved in the fangirl space, like, really helped me, like, a ton. And it's so magical, and there's nothing like it, and it's why I'm really worried about this whole TikTok ban thing. And, like, obviously once this comes out, we'll know what the hell's happening and what's gonna go on, but right now I'm really stressing. Not even about, like obviously I'm a little worried about, like, losing the money I make from it and shit like that, but I'm mainly worried about this community that I've built off of this app, and, like, all of the friends I've made through it, and, like, all of these people that I've met through the app, and it's become such a special thing to me that, like, the fangirl space from, like, 2021 to now has truly just been, like, evolving so much, and it's crazy. Obviously, there's toxic parts about it, and, like, we'll definitely touch on that, but, like, I feel like the positive outweighs the negative so much. But when it gets to the negative, fangirls can also be, like, really fucking toxic. Like, let's talk about it. Like, especially these last 6 months. Like, these last 6 months have been, like, horrible for me, for my friends. Like, it's gotten to a point where people are just so rude. Like, there's genuinely no other way to say it. People are rude. And, like, it's just gotten so crazy. Where, like, when I posted I was going to 3 Gracie Abrams shows, I had multiple hate tweets about me with, like, screenshots of my TikTok being like, I fucking hate this bitch. Like, shit like that. It's, like, shit like that when literally anything happens. Like, okay. And it's just gone to a point where so many fandom spaces have become so toxic. And I really think one of the fandom spaces that used to be the most welcoming, accepting space, like the Gracie Abrams fan base, has now turned into probably, like, one of the most toxic fan bases I've ever been in. Like, it is so... Obviously, with that being said, like, I've met some of my best friends through Gracie. I've had amazing experiences at her concerts. But then also, that being said, there's been some really fucking horrible people at her shows. I've met some really horrible people online through her. And I think some of her fans have gotten, like, really gatekeepy, which it's, like, that's not cool. Like, flat out, that's just not cool. Like, I understand wanting to say, like, oh my god, I've listened to this artist since day one. Like, girl, me too. Like, girl, me too. I discovered Gracie in 2021 when 21 was all over Instagram edits. Like, it was, like, I've been here. I feel you. But it's, like, I'm an OG. Yes. Am I going around telling people they can't become fans because they're not an OG? No. Like, and, like, obviously she's blown up so much with, like, I love you, I'm sorry. And that's so true. Has really just been insane. Like, it has been insane the amount of monthly streamers she's gotten. Like, she passed Harry and Olivia on the Spotify, like, top 100 global. Thinking about that makes me feel genuinely ill and nauseous. Like, nope, we're not gonna think about it. It's just, like, it's become this thing where now fans that are obviously OG fans have become super toxic to new fans and saying, like, you can't become fans. And then there's also some new fans that are horrible. Like, I love new fans. I love people discovering her music. But some of you guys suck. Like, some of you guys genuinely have never been in a fan space in your life, and you can tell. Like, you can tell when somebody grew up on Stan Twitter and when somebody hasn't. Because some of you guys... Can my dog stop barking? But, like, some of you guys are miserable. You're literally miserable. And, like, it makes me sad for you. Like, you don't have to act like you're an OG fan, even though you're not. Like, it's okay that you haven't listened to her since day one. Like, why are we going around acting like we have? And then, like, why are people so gatekeepy with new fans and, like, not letting them become fans and being like, since you haven't been a fan since day one? Like, the only thing I do hate and will forever hate is people that publicly hated on her back in the day becoming fans. And, like, there's a few people. Sorry, guys, the camera stops recording every 30 minutes, so I just had to get up and turn it back on. But, like, there are some people that, like, publicly hated on her and now make, like, liking her their whole personality, and, like, that really does irk me a bit, like. sorry, but, like, fandom spaces have become so toxic. And, like, the Swiftie space has always been toxic. Genuinely. Like, Swifties are fucking scary when we get into, like, the Swiftie conspiracy theorists. Like, when we get into gaylers, have y'all ever heard of treelers? Who believe that Tree and Taylor are dating? To those who don't know, Tree Payne is Taylor's publicist. Like, people that think Taylor's in a lavender, like, a fucking, like, lavender marriage / lavender relationship with Travis Kelce, and, like, that he's, like, the beard in their relationship. Like, genuinely, like, I wish people had, like, common sense and knew how to, like, use their brains. Like, I feel like that's not too hard to ask for, but apparently it fucking is. Like, but fandom spaces have always just been, like, the Swiftie space has always been something, for sure. Like, for sure. I'm actually, like, really scared for Harry to come back. I don't even want to think about that, because, like, I don't even want to say it. Like, the only answer is, like, stadium tour, and, like, that's horrifying. Like, I hate that. I hate that. Like, I'm not fighting in an Eras tour queue again, bruh. I can't do that mentally, and, like, Harry, like, he's, like, my baby. I can't do that shit. Like, I need to take a minute. It's so surreal to see artists that you've listened to, like, forever blow up. Like, watching how Fine Line skyrocketed Harry was crazy. And, like, to be fair, that was second, like, technically, like, that was technically his second solo album, so, like, I get it, but, like, the fact there's, like, Harry fans that, like, didn't grow up listening to One Direction, or Harry fans who didn't know who One Direction is. Guys, I saw this TikTok comment that was, like, somebody posted a video of, like, One Direction Harry, and then, like, to Harry, like, a transition video, and somebody was like, oh my god, Harry was in a band. And the crowd goes confused. What? Harry, oh my god, like, genuinely somebody, like, somebody put me in a mental institute. Like, it genuinely makes me feel ill. And, like, the fact there's people that are new to fandom things is so wild to me, or, like, new Swifties. That's insane to me. It's just so bizarre to me that some people, like, didn't grow up in fan spaces. And, like, some people didn't grow up on Stan Twitter. Low-key envious of you. Like, what was it like? What was it like to not get death threats at the age of 11? I wish I fucking knew. I wish I fucking knew, bruh. Like, and, like, when we think, like, 2020 Harry, like, eras, like, when we start thinking of, like, duplicity, and we start thinking of, like, peak Larry in 2020, what the fuck was that? Why did we ever say, let's bring Larry back, guys? Like, my poor father, he's probably gonna watch this, like, he'll send me, like, these Larry TikToks, because I fear he, like, doesn't understand what the implications are, and, like, he knows I listen to Louis, and he knows I listen to Harry, and he just thinks, like, they're silly little TikToks, but, like, I don't think he understands, like, the true implications of these videos, and, like, the PTSD flashbacks I'm getting when he sends me these. I don't think he understands at all. And, like, that's okay. Like, Aaron, don't go look it up. Like, if you watch this, do not go look it up. You don't need to know what Larry is, King. Like, it's okay. But, like, it's so wild to me. There's Harrys out there that didn't have to live through that shit. Wild as fuck. But something I thought we could talk about, because it's kind of happening soon. but it's like it's gonna look different this year, is Grammys. Grammys are soon. The Recording Academy, like, has obviously announced that, like, a lot of the stuff is gonna look different. Like, there's not gonna be the parties and, like, all of, like, the crazy stuff, because they're gonna send those resources to the LA Fire, which, like, thank God. I'm glad they are. And, like I said, as this is going out, I don't know how the LA Fires are gonna be, but as somebody who's from Southern California and grew up in California her whole life, these fires hit really close to home, and it really breaks my heart to see places I grew up going to burning down. And I have so many friends that have been evacuated or have lost their houses, and it's really hard. And it brings me a lot of pain to even think about, and all the videos I'm seeing of it are so scary, and it is so horrifying. Like, I get emotional talking about it, because genuinely, like, California is such a special place. And Southern California is so special. I've been trying to donate. I've been trying to post resources, but I also just feel so helpless, because, like, now I don't live in California, and it's like, I wish I could be in California volunteering anywhere I could right now. Like, I wish there was more I could be doing, and literally all I can do is, like, share resources and donate as much as I can. And, like, it's just so horrible. And to any of you guys who have been affected by the fires in any way, I'm here for you, and my messages are always open, and please let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Like, if any of you guys have been affected by it and have, like, personal GoFundMes that need sharing, or, like, your family or, like, extended family or people you know have been affected in any way, like, please, please, please let me know, and I want to get as many resources out as possible. And it is just, like, so hard. But like I was saying before I got into that rant, is Grammys is soon, and it's gonna look really different this year. But let's talk predictions. Like, obviously, nomination list is fucking crazy. Gracie is gonna win her first Grammy. I can feel it deep in my bones. Here's my issue. Wait. One sec. I need to research. Is it still It is still recording. Okay. So, one of my favorite collab of all time is Everywhere Everything featuring Gracie, and I know it was nominated, but I forget if it's nominated in Best, like, Country Pop Duo or Best, like, Pop Duo. Wait, Everywhere Everything featuring Gracie nomination. No, this is for last year, babe. This is for last year. This is pissing me off. Grammy nominations. This is actually going to piss me off if I can't figure this out. Grammy nominations. Complete list. Thank you. Can this work? Okay. Record of the year. Also, guys, I really want Chapel to win an album. I mean, not an album. I want her to win anything. Like, I'd love if she won Song of the Year. I feel like that'd be fucking crazy. Okay, yeah. Wait, for Best New Artist, Sabrina and Chapel going head to head. Crazy. I want Chapel to win. I think Dan Negro should win for Producer of the Year. Wait, okay, Best Pop Solo. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, so it's not Best Pop Duo. Okay, so Best Pop Duo, Us is nominated. I want that to win. I want Gracie to win that with Taylor, because I feel like that's so... Oh, also, guys, Madison is nominated again. I need her to win Best Pop Dance. But where is the nomination I'm looking for? This is going to piss me off. Not Best R&B Performance. This is actually going to piss me off. I'm so confused. I know it was nominated for something. I know it was nominated for something. Because I was literally talking to people about this. Guys, is this like a Mandela effect? Wait. No, this was definitely nominated. Guys, now I'm tweaking out. I swear that Everywhere Everything featuring Gracie was nominated. What's Everywhere Everything featuring Gracie? Grammy. Because I remember saying, like, I'm having a hard time, like, with Us and Everywhere Everything featuring Gracie. I swear, like, no, okay, it is. But it's not telling me which one it's nominated for. I'm gonna tweak. Do you think if I ask ChatGPT, they'll know? I'm not asking about the election. It just asked me about the election. Bruh! I'm asking ChatGPT because Snapchat AI is, like, dumb as fuck. Wait, this is pissing me off because, like, the Google AI is telling me it was nominated, but I can't find anything, like, saying it wasn't. Now I'm, like, having a really hard time because I know for a fact it was, and now I'm, like, high-key stressing. It was nominated for Best Pop Vocal Album. Wait. It's telling me it was nominated last year, but didn't win. Wait, was it nominated last year and I'm tweaking? Wait, guys, this is going to be really embarrassing. This is probably going to be really embarrassing. Okay, guys, so my camera, like, is exhausted, I guess, and just died, so now you guys are just getting audio for the rest of this. I apologize, but I can't find anything about it being nominated, and now I'm tweaking because I remember it being nominated, and I'm having a really hard time. So I don't know what's going on with that, so I don't know. Because I was saying how I wanted it to win over Us, but now it's like, it's not even showing me that it's nominated with Us, and, like, even AI can't give me an answer, so I'm having a really hard time. Like, did I Mandela affect that? I don't know, bruh. Scary times. But, hot take, as a Swiftie, I don't want TTPD to win Album of the Year. Sorry. I think Hit Me Hard and Soft should win Album of the Year. It's life-changing, and, like, obviously I'm a Billie stan, but there's obviously, like, a lot bigger Billie stans. Like, I'm not a Billie stan like that. Like, there are Billie stans that are so much bigger stans than me, but I think Hit Me Hard and Soft is such an insane album. And so crazy and life-changing. And I really think Billie deserves it because she was literally snubbed for Happier Than Ever. And, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Birds of a Feather won, like, Song of the Year. Like, I want her to win shit. I want her to sweep this year. I want her to fucking sweep this year. But artists that I want to take home awards: Chapel, Gracie, Billie, Sabrina, and obviously Taylor. The hard thing is they're, like, all nominated in the same categories. But then also at the same time, like, I'll be happy with basically anybody who wins. Unless, like, some random ass person wins. Like, when Harry's House didn't win Album of the Year. Like, bruh. What? Okay. Sure. Like, there's just been some choices. I really do think that the Recording Academy is, like, rigged and low-key fake as fuck. Like, I don't really think the Grammys mean anything, but then at the same time, it's, like, having a Grammy would be so fucking cool. And I'd love for some of my little faves to take some home. And I'd be so proud of them. But yeah, I feel like that's a really good way to kind of wrap up the first podcast episode. I hope you guys liked it. I hope it wasn't bad. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, like, this is lit. I love doing this, and I can't wait to do this more. And I'd love to do this weekly. Let me know if you guys liked it. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future from this. And I love you guys forever and ever and ever. Have the most spectacular day. Mwah. Love you.